Hey, it's Mega, aka the Art Messiah, here to save you from your art sins. Welcome back to another drawing stream. Tonight we're going to be having some fun, doing some doodles, working on some gesture drawings, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to get to that all in a moment, but first I'm going to make some postings on social media that we are live and streaming, so that way for the followers that are interested can hop in and join along. As per usual, this is a co-working space. It's kind of a draw-along kind of space. I think I might be doing some gesture drawing, and I'm always here to answer questions about this and that. So yeah, grab a drink, grab some snacks, and grab your pencil and paper, and let's get to work. Also, how is everyone doing tonight? I can see that we already have some people in the chat. Well, not in the chat, but at least in the stream. And don't worry, like, if you don't want to, if you're just lurking, you don't want to talk, that's cool too. I'm not trying to pressure anybody. What's up, Maya? I can probably stay for a little bit, don't know how long though. No worries, as per usual. Thanks for stopping through. J-Rock is in the house. Dope work. Thank you. This is some character designs for Ignition, the story that I'm working on. I'm trying to get the different concepts and stuff out onto the paper before these characters are drawn to screen. Let me get my Bluetooth connected. But no, that's fine. It does seem like we have audio, which is good, so I'm just gonna turn it down so I'm not creating a weird kind of echo. Oh, is there a glitch or anything? I haven't moved anything around yet. Let me check in on that. Is it glitching for you guys? Do I not have audio? Let's see. Hello. Okay, it looks like I have audio, but hold on. I think the video is maybe glitched though and stuck. Okay, yeah, so audio's working. Let me check in for video. Yeah, it looks like that's maybe glitched out a little bit. Hold on. Always something. I'm telling you guys, like, it's literally always something. Alright. We are in business. Cool. It froze and there's no music or audio for a few seconds. It just did it again. Okay, well I did deactivate and reactivate it, so it could be that moment right there. But if you could be so kind for the time that you are in here, please just let me know if that does happen again, because I may have to reset the stream. But thank you for pointing that out. Okay, so last time I was streaming, I realized that even though like the video will not be taken down or anything, no one's made like a complaint or anything like that, but there was a copyright for last time I streamed, and even though I have permission from Chill Hop and some of the artists that I follow on SoundCloud, like they gave me permission, I still got a copyright claim thing, and I'm gonna try to avoid that this time. So I'm gonna try to play my own music, which I do apologize in advance. That we might not have as much variety as we typically do, but we're still gonna have a great time. We're gonna get to some drawing. I see an uh-oh in the chat. That's not sounding good. Let me put my headphones back in and check in. Oh, no, it was uh-oh for the copyright claim. Not for the video. Perfect. Well, not perfect, but it's good that my stream isn't acting as wonky. So yeah, as I just kind of talk through things, I think I'll just kind of work on this for a quick moment. Was it just an ordinary copyright claim and not a strike? Yeah, so it was a I think just a copyright like warning. So it wasn't a strike. I don't think it's anything against my account or anything like that. No one's trying to take action in that case. So they did just say it was not going to be able to be monetized, which I'm not monetized anyway, so they're just not going to, you know, get the money off the advertisements, because I do know that they run ads on my videos even though they do not pay me or anything. So for all of you guys out there, like, I always encourage just using an ad block or whatever the case may be. If you do want to support my work, you can buy something from my store. I have both digital and physical products, so you can just like buy a sketchbook for like $1 or $2 and you can support me that way. But yeah, I'm not being monetized by YouTube. All these streams are free and free for you guys to use and learn from and everything like that. So anyways, yeah, today what we're going to be working on, I want to work on maybe 1 or 2 faces. I want to do a little bit of like gesture drawing, and I kind of want to attempt another character design. One thing I want to mess around with today a little bit is body proportion, and just kind of exaggerating and playing with that a little bit, just to have a little bit more diversity in character shapes and stuff. Because to be very honest, what I've been doing is I've been using kind of a standard body for a lot of my practices, because I'm trying to learn all the muscles and this and that, which means that all my characters are going to look kind of a little bit muscly, because I'm just getting used to those forms. But now I want to be able to add on like fat and just different kind of bone structure and just different like sizes, smaller, larger, you know, short, tall, that kind of thing, lanky. So we might mess around a little bit in that regards as well. So if that's something that interests you and like interest to learn, you have questions, just feel free to ask that as we're going along. Okay, looking back in the chat, that reminds me, Maya says, what does it mean when you get this cancellation sign next to your YouTube video? I got that once and immediately deleted it because I don't take chances. You know, that's a good question. I don't think I've seen that on one of my videos before, so I don't know what that means. But typically, if something needs to be taken down, if it's violating some kind of policy, I'm imagining that YouTube would just go ahead and take it down. So there's that. But yeah, I think really the let's check backing that. Okay, good. And let's also rotate this so we can get a better view. I don't really do anything crazy on this channel, so I guess it's probably good not to risk it and just take it down. But if you know that your video like was okay and follows all the guidelines and stuff like that, I would leave it up until YouTube itself takes it down, probably. But yeah, I would have to definitely look into that. I'm not sure what that means. So yeah, as stated, the music in the background is my own music, so I shouldn't have to worry this time around. And for those of you that know me, this is some Mega Man Battle Network music, and as you guys know, I'm a fan of those games, and I wanted to make a remix specifically for like drawing and coding. So that's what we're listening to now. If you like the way it sounds or anything like that, I do have it up on my YouTube channel, my secondary channel, which now that I say that, might be dangerous for this copyright strike stuff, because maybe they're gonna have some, maybe they're gonna say, hey, this is already online and you're using this, did you know that? But maybe they'll check and know that it's, hey, this is from the, oh, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, let's bring this back to this keyboard. Yeah, maybe they'll realize it's the same user and not give me some kind of strike or anything like that. Let's see. Let's scroll back up a little bit. I tried searching what it meant and only found one short Reddit thread where someone said, I think that it means it's been blocked in some parts of the world or something like that. Oh, interesting. The key word is think. That is interesting. Because I do know that like every country has their own kind of like regulations and laws and stuff like that about like what is acceptable. So I guess there could be some truth to that, where in some country it wasn't allowed. But yeah, I mean, I definitely take that with a grain of salt. It was in AMV. I've used clips of the same anime before, and the song was niche, not popular. I'm considering just teaching myself to make music, even though I probably have no musical talent. Oh, definitely don't say that. Everyone's got musical talent. It just takes some practicing for sure. I don't know, there are extremely popular artists whose videos are copyrighted by their own song, like Lady Gaga. Yeah, I don't really know how you would get around that. It's like if you already have the song posted online, like even if you're the creator of it, how would YouTube know if that you're the creator and that it's okay? And it's also kind of strange that they would just dock you and say, hey, like this is copyrighted and it can't be monetized without actually looking further into it. So I don't know in the future if I am ever monetized by YouTube. I don't know if in the future I would have to like take it up with them and say like, actually I own this. Like I don't know what the process is like for something like that to be completely honest. Well, in any case, we're gonna see in this stream whether or not I get any claims, and I can kind of use that as an idea of what to do next time. But honestly, I'm not like super worried about it. As long as you guys get to come and hang out while I am streaming, like that's cool. And as long as you guys can hear the music and everything's good, like I don't really care that much. So how long is this stream gonna be? I don't know for exact, but I'm thinking I'll probably go to around 10 o'clock. A 2-hour stream is typically my go-to. I start to lose focus after that, but we'll see. If we're in a good just rhythm and vibe, maybe we'll keep on going past that. But I typically take a small break at 9. But yeah, other than that, we draw the entire way through for the most part. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I want to try drawing an unfamiliar face with just different facial proportions and stuff, just as practice. Because I want to work on exaggerating and simplifying forms. I guess I can maybe try to do something off the top of my head, which, who knows. So what you can do is you can just start off with whatever kind of shape that you want, honestly, and then start to craft that into a character. Oh, and this song reminds me of Plants vs. Zombies, kinda. Cool. I know of Plants and Zombies, but I'm not familiar with the soundtrack. Yeah, I just like to create little fun beat size type of things. This is my own personal music. I don't even think I have this uploaded yet. Or actually I do, maybe. My music is on my Bandcamp. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate this layer because there's let's actually do it this way. I want to try something here, so we're gonna let's copy and paste this. Just cut and paste this actually, and then deselect it and then duplicate layer. So the first thing I want to try is actually doing a hat for this character. The soundtrack is awesome. Even if you don't play it, you should listen to it. There's a playlist on YouTube. It might inspire you. I will definitely take a look at it because I listen to like music literally all the time while I'm working, and I actually just found this album that was produced for kind of like a visual novel style game because I was doing some research. I think the game is called Symbiosis, if I'm not mistaken. If you guys have heard of it, that's really cool, but like I was just kind of surprised upon opening it, the soundtrack that it had. Like it just sounded really cool. So thank you for that recommendation. I'm gonna check that out. If you want to check out something, I would check out this Symbiosis soundtrack, and I can try to find that. I can try to find that for you just to make sure I got the right thing. Or I may have closed it. It is called Symbiosis, and it's the soundtrack for that. You know, I wonder if I can play video game soundtracks without getting copyrighted, like games that have already been published. Because it's like if you're a streamer, you're playing a video game, like are they gonna mute the audio for that and like copyright that? I don't know, guys. Yeah, it's a very, very small indie game that was made during Nano Right Month. There's something in March where basically, I think it's March timing. There's like a writing challenge where you have to like write an entire thing within like a month or 2 months. And someone had taken up that challenge and did this mini story. So it's very, very, very small. But I like the vibe of the music. I just started kind of playing around with it the other day. Yeah, I feel like copyright laws are always changing. I feel like there's going to be some overhaul too with like all the AI stuff going on in terms of copyright. Whenever I draw hats, I always think of like the Pringles. That's pretty much how I draw hats. I just think of Pringles. Alright, and then this one right here is a remix for Mega Man Zero. It's like the lab. Yeah, and I don't know, I really like this soundtrack. When I played through this game as a kid, I thought it was like, it just had such a good kind of atmospheric kind of feel to it. I really liked it. It's funny how I'm your mod, but so far I haven't needed to do anything mod related. There haven't been any bots yet. Honestly, I'm surprised. Only that one day when we had bots, and I was like, hey, I'll just make you mod. But yeah, you don't have to feel pressure to show up because you're a mod or I made you a mod. I do appreciate you showing up and helping out with something like that, but I don't want you to feel like pressured or anything like that. But I am very, very thankful. Yeah, I'm a pretty small YouTuber at this point in time, so I don't think we have too much to really worry about right now. Everyone here is chill, all the people that come through, so thank you all for behaving. I have to leave. I might come back later if we're still streaming. Bye. Alright, see ya. See you around. Thanks for hopping in, chilling and hanging for a little bit. Yeah, we might still be going. We might still be going. So yeah, today's been pretty cool. We got some art done, not art, we got some writing done. We got some writing done for Ignition. Some exciting times ahead of us for sure. So yeah, today we kind of did story cards, which is basically just organizing your events for your story in a kind of easy to see and visualize way. So that's what I kind of did for myself, with some organization, tidying up some thoughts and ideas, and also some scene writing. Okay, so what we're gonna do at this point is we are going to do some gesture drawing and some proportion making and have some fun with that. And our break at 10 is coming up. I think I'm gonna make myself some hot chocolate as we keep on going along with this. But yeah, let me know if you guys would like to draw along with me, and if so, I will put I don't want to do that. I will put what I'm drawing on the screen as well, so you can draw along. I'm going to change canvas size. We're just going to make this bigger. We're going to sprawl it out this way. Alright. That's pretty detailed. Alright, we're going to come in here to the 30-second drawing. So this time in my gesture drawing, we're actually going to create characters and stuff like that instead of just drawing it straight up. Okay. Un momento. Alright, let's do this. 180 seconds sounds about reasonable. Alright, so we're just drawing from Pose Maniacs right now. For those of you that follow me, you should be pretty familiar with that site name. Honest to God, I don't know what's really going on with it in this pose. Not with this pose, but I'm not really sure what kind of action they're doing. Maybe they're dancing. So it's like it's kind of hard to exaggerate a pose when you don't really know what the movement is supposed to be. But we're taking our best stab at it. so when it comes to proportions, I guess I don't really know exactly what I want to do, but I guess I do want to add a little bit of weight, where I typically don't add too much weight, so giving them somewhat of a stomach without making them look like pregnant, I guess, which, you know, can be difficult. I had a really fun time creating this song. It just had some fun energy to it. Alright, so like when I'm going through drawing a gesture like this, maybe just some quick pointers. One thing that's really helpful for me is to understand body relationships, body part relationships. So like, for example, if I did a smooth curve, you can kind of see how, like when I do proportions and when I do gesture drawings, everything is related to something else on the body. So what I typically do is I start with that torso and I relate everything to that torso. I say, how do the limbs flow out of it? How does one limb connect to each other? And I find those rhythms. So for example, that's a rhythm right there. There's another rhythm like right here between the knees, and knees create like this rocking kind of motion where you think about your point of rotation, which is your hip, and then your knee rotates around that hip. So basically it swings like that. So I basically use that rhythm to find how to place the other knee in response to another one. But you always have to also keep in mind a little bit of you have to keep in mind a little bit of anatomy and also foreshortening, which is also very key. So yeah, those are just some like quick pointers. You want to find the rhythm of the body. That's my big pointer. Alright, so we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to stay here with you guys and keep talking and stuff like that. What's up, Kage? But we are going to take a break to play some video games. We're going to play a few rounds of Splatoon. But I'll be here to chat and answer questions and also just talk about a few things that are going on. Wow, I just see a whole bunch of people, new viewers and stuff like that. So welcome in. My name is Mega, aka the Art Messiah. I am a digital artist, a traditional artist. I am a writer and somewhat of a musician. This is my music in the background. But I'm working on a story called Ignition, which I'm trying to combine all those skills together. So this last week has been pretty good in terms of getting some stuff done and making some progress on Ignition, which is great. And by we, I mean me. I use we as kind of like, I don't know, I just think like, you know, yeah, all artists and stuff, like fans and people that are helping me and supporting me and everything like that, like, and even just inspirations and stuff. Like, I don't like, sometimes I think of myself as an individual, but also I know that even though I'm putting in all of the work, I like to think that it is a little bit of like a we kind of thing. But sometimes I just refer to myself as we, like I'm multiple people. It's I don't know, somewhat of a habit, I guess. But yeah, this week we made some pretty decent progress. So one of the things that I'm working on right now is creating somewhat of like a game engine for the visual novel that I want to create. You know, sometimes in response to Kai, I thought someone was in the room with you. Typically that's the case. Typically my fiance is in my room with me. And so I use we in that instance as well. No, I don't know. I guess it's a little bit of a habit now. I say we instead of me more often than not. But yeah, so I'm creating somewhat of a game engine. It's a really simple game engine for the visual novel that I'm creating. The first thing that I did quite some time ago was create a script reader, and then I had to slightly rewrite that because I was moving from Adobe Animate into just using vanilla JavaScript. And then now, more recently, I was trying to create a digital sketchbook that had somewhat of RPG style elements within it. And I really liked the isometric games of Mega Man Battle Network. I thought the sprite artwork for those games were just like spectacular. Some of the best sprite work that I've seen. Really, that game I really like the sprite work for, and I really like the sprite work for Advance Wars. And I really like the sprite work for Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. So like, this Game Boy Advance era of games in terms of art and sprite art specifically had a lot of really great stuff, and I really want to incorporate that into the world that I'm telling, and to just kind of relive that nostalgia a little bit. So anyways, I was trying to recreate that kind of framework. We ran into some issues. Yo, what's going on, Ice Bear Shinobi? What's good? How you doing tonight? So we ran into some issues trying to create the collision detection for an isometric game, and I didn't really realize that it was kind of that much of a challenge. But if you look at some game engines that are out on the market right now, one of them being like RPG Maker or Phaser or any of those kinds, typically they use a top-down orthogonal. Sorry for my pronunciation. They use an orthogonal approach to their RPG where you're moving up, down, left, and right, not in the diagonal directions. And there's a reason for that, and I'm going to get to that in a moment. But basically, since it's not that common to do isometric views, there's not that much documentation information on it. So the issue was of creating essentially collision detection in this diagonal kind of view, where typical collision detection uses rectangles. And so there's some challenges present in that. There have been other people that have, figured out solutions, but not necessarily all that detailed. So I am kind of piecing it together myself with the help of a sibling, which is giving some guidance and whatnot. But basically, I have to change a orthogonal, which I should describe. So when I say orthogonal, what I mean is that the x and y are, your typical xy coordinate plane. Dang, they got me. So yeah, orthogonal view is purely in the x and y. And so we're going from orthogonal to isometric. And so basically I had to convert my map into being a pure XY so that I could do collision detection and then translate that back into what the character movement actually is. So yeah, basically I was just figuring out the transform matrix math to be able to take my coordinate of where my character would be and then translate it into the space that I would want it to be at. Sorry, playing Splatoon right now, and I am trying to kick butt. There we go, got that splat. So yeah, I spent some time kind of developing that sequence out. It's still not perfect, I'm gonna admit that, but some of the stuff is coming together, which is really amazing and awesome, and I just found out exactly how to do it, but now what I need to work on and what I've been kind of journaling in my dev blog, which, by the way, if you're curious, is on my Tumblr, and I just kind of describe exactly what issues I'm facing and provide pictures and explanations in the hopes of, you know, anyone else that might be trying to do something similar can follow along behind in my footsteps. So yeah, I'm chronicling all my journeys, all that I'm learning, all that I'm doing, in hopes that it can help someone else out down the line. Hold on one sec, the roundabout at end. So yeah, that is on my Tumblr if you want to check that out. And I guess I'll show really quickly. Yeah. So let me show exactly what I'm talking about, because instead of just trying to talk about this, it might be a little confusing. So anyways, as you can see, like when you're creating a normal tile map, it's based in an XY kind of coordinate system, and so when you're placing those collision boxes, they're going to be in X and Y, and they're going to be rectangular. Obviously, for an isometric map like this, it doesn't really work out all that well. Yeah, so it doesn't really work out all that well. And so what I basically have to do is I have to, by the way, I made this kind of custom artwork-ish. Not entirely custom, but this keyboard is completely custom. I need to take this and I need to convert it into something like this so I can create the collision boxes. But what was tricky is that I needed to determine the transform that I needed to do to get from what that isometric view looked like before to what it should look like. Right? So basically the thing is, how do you go from this to this? And I found that there was two ways. Basically, you could rotate it by, well, first scale the width down by half and then rotate it by 40 degrees. Or you could use a transfer matrix, which basically did two things. It created a skew in both the X and the Y, and by controlling those values, I was able to also get this kind of transform from one to the other. So I just needed to be very clear about that, so when I do the programming, I know exactly what numbers to use and whatnot. So now with that done, the next steps for me, personally, I have to, right now I was using the XY coordinates of the top left corner of my character box, which isn't really accurate where the feet would be standing. So I need to make some coordinates specifically for where the feet would be standing, but also relate that to the character XY position. Right, so both of those values need to be updated simultaneously. So I need to just create some equation that says, okay, well, for every X value, I want you to add so many pixels in the X and Y, and then draw the new rectangle there, and then also when you do the transfer matrix, use that XY point instead, which I know sounds like a bunch of technical garbage, but, you know, hopefully it won't be too hard to kind of see and understand when I kind of write it out a little bit more and share like the little code snippets. Is that Jid? That is Jid indeed. I didn't do the best job with the likeness, but he is one of my top like hip hop artists right now, to be honest. The hip hop scene is kind of lacking, but I always know he's always gonna put out something solid. And his newest album was pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. Are you a fan, or do you like listen to the music at all? No! I got splatted right before the end. But yeah, what do you guys like to play for video games? I remember talking about this a little bit last week. We got some like new suggestions and whatnot, but I do like hearing what other people are playing and enjoying. Last time we were talking about, I believe, the Sea of Stars, or yeah, I think Sea of Stars. Correct me if I am wrong. But I started listening to their soundtrack, and I like listening to video game soundtracks. So thank you, Kage, for recommending that last time. Ice Bear says they love Chid. Nice. Honestly, like, the whole Dreamville crew that they've got going on is like really solid. And, like, I really like Ari Lennox. Been a fan of her for a while. But yeah, the whole crew is pretty nice. Like Earth Gang, Jid, Ari Lennox. There's a few others, I believe, but it's kind of escaping me for right now. Like, I probably listen to more like hip hop and jazz instrumentals than I do like actual like vocal recording artists. They got me. But yeah. Oh, another one of my favorite artists is Masego. He's definitely got like there's variety in his music, but I really like his style. I don't want to say it gets repetitive, but like once you kind of hear his style, it's like very distinct, and he kind of like definitely stays within that quite a bit. But still, like, he's been probably my favorite person for a little while now, just because I really like the fusion he does, and there's just not a lot of people doing what he's doing. Let's go! Like, in Splatoon, there is nothing better than if in those last moments you can get your super going and get a few splats there at the end. Like, I'm really digging this game because it's one of those games that's like really easy to hop in for a few rounds and then come back out. I do know Smino, but I don't know if I know of Chris Patrick. And I would love to play some of their music right now, but I'm afraid I'm going to get some copyright strikes or something like that. So I think I'm going to hold off on that for a sec. Okay. I guess I gotta decide what I want to draw next. I did kind of want to try working on kind of like a character design kind of thing. In my story, it's kind of a story about like all these different mechanics, and I wanted to try to create what would a sewing mechanic look like. And so I wanted to create a character design for that, for the fun of it. I also wanted to show my main character aged up a little bit. So I think I'll kind of do that first. Right? Alright, I think I'm going to do one more round of Splatoon. But yeah, I'll keep chatting about updates and stuff because it's actually maybe easier to do video gaming and talking than it is to do drawing and talking. For those of you guys that stream, what do you think about that? Like, I know there's some video game streamers out there, and if you're a video game streamer and an art streamer, like, what's easier for you? Honestly, at least when it comes to Splatoon, I'm having an easier time talking and gaming at the same time. Also, are there any other Splatoon players out there? Because I am I shouldn't say an avid Splatoon player, but I do like the game. I'm enjoying it. I play as probably the Splatana class, which is basically like a sword in the Splatoon world. It's just very flexible and it's very dynamic playstyle. And it's just so much fun to kind of zip around. When I play video games, like, not even based on strength, I just like to figure out what type of thing feels the best, if that makes sense. Like, what is most fun to play as, regardless if it's strong or not. Like, for example, in Super Smash Brothers, at least the new ones, like, I really like playing as Sheik. They're not very powerful at all. Very, very difficult to get any kind of KO with them, especially when you're doing like multiplayer. But again, if it's like a character that's just fun to play with, I'm gonna play with them. I don't know, that's my brand of gaming. It's never about really winning, it's about how you can create like the most fun experiences and like interactions. So like with this class specifically, you're like always moving around. No, I really should have won that battle. Come on, I hope we win this one. This game is so stressful because it's like the last bits of the round and it's like just goes crazy. And you really got to try to stay alive. Okay, so I'm gonna come back into the drawing. Video game break is over. And I'm starting to get into this point where I feel like my aim is actually matching with what I want to do now, which is a really cool thing for Splatoon. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to come back into drawing here in a sec. Alright. I'm actually going to do one more after that. But anyways, let's kind of come back here. So I want to draw an aged up version of this character for the heck of it. And so what I really want to do is I really want to accent this jaw. We're gonna make these eyes smaller now. And basically when you're drawing an older character, you want to start adding in more angle and more wrinkle. I don't have a specific age in mind. Let's just see what I draw, and then maybe we can pick an age from that specifically. Alright, so let's change out this music as well. What would their hairstyle be at an older age? And also, what if they had a beard? I don't know if I like a beard too much. How about just some more so like stubble kind of look? Let's go for something like that. But yeah, I'm always down for music recommendations. If you guys have any favorite artists or anything like that, like musical artists, let me know, because I'm always looking for some new stuff. Okay, we're gonna take one little last break here and do more and more round, and then we're gonna really get back into it. I do need this break though, because I'm trying to decide. I'm gonna do this age up version type of thing, just for the fun of it. What I like to do is, when I'm inspired to do something, to just do it. That way, in the future, I can always come back later and then be like, hey, I was way off the mark. Or I can be like, hey, that was a good idea. So this is not going to be official or canon or anything like that, and that's honestly okay. What about you guys? Do you guys do like older versions of your characters and stuff like that, even if it's not going to show up in the story? Like, how far do you guys go with your character designs? For those of you that either have like OCs or like doing story type stuff. Alright, the start of this, the base of this isn't bad. Alright. I just feel like it does need some work here and there, but I think we're in a very good position. Maybe a little bit of hairline receding could be kind of interesting. Maybe somewhat of a braided look still, but figuring out how to incorporate that. Oh, we got a new subscriber. Thank you. And who just subscribed? I think Dylan or Dian. I'm so sorry if I get that wrong. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you for following along. Our disciples, they grow in numbers. We get stronger and stronger by the day. Put a little bit more meat on their head. Yeah, I know that sounds kind of weird. Why they got meat on their head? All right. All right. Admittedly, I am struggling a little bit, but I guess I'm struggling in the best of ways. I feel like I need to move that eye up. When I mirror this, it's gonna look funky. Yep. Not super funky, but it just needs to come up a little bit. Like that. And I do not like the tail end of that. What about glasses? Glasses, yes or no? Alright, well, we're adding them in. Glasses are a go for right now. Maybe we take them out later. Alright. Let's come in here and let's commit to some of these lines. Some of them are just too blurry to even really make out what's going on, which is, you know, it can be good at the beginning, but now we need to be a little bit more precise and say, hey, this is the line we want to drop down. All right. This is like mid 40s. I feel like this is giving mid 40s Elijah right now. Now, how much it looks like Elijah? Ah, shoot. That's the thing with me right now. I'm still working on kind of like that likeness thing, and then being able to age people up, and then also have that consistency and stuff. It's that can get kind of difficult, you know, honest. So that's something that you struggle with, like, don't even really stress too much about it. What one thing that is recognizable, so if you mess up with all the other parts, you know, at least you got something that makes that character stand out and makes them unique, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up my reference. We're at 9:43, which doesn't give us like a ton of time, but we're gonna come in here and we're gonna come in here and try to finish this off, and then maybe try to do something with that sewing idea. But I'm not gonna pressure myself too much. I might just try to draw something from reference, kind of in a chill mood, and would maybe like to just close it out that way. Okay. So I got his character design sheet open a little bit. His eyebrows, aren't that thick, so we're gonna chill that out a little bit, you know. And right now he's looking over at us, which is fine. We can do that. Alright, so we did still want to do a braided look. I'm going to try to do some reference finding real quick. See what we can get. I think maybe like a kind of like what I'm trying to think about. Not the exact style that I'm thinking. Again, kind of, we're gonna have this line right here. So we're gonna do that. That's gonna come in. So this top braid is going to swoop around like this, and then this braid is gonna come in and then stop. We're gonna do something like that, and then something like this. Now we're gonna draw in the braid marks a little bit. Let's come back to here. Let's soften the glasses, just to make them more rounded like that. Okay. Alright, so let's draw on this braid a little bit more closely. Let's see. Oh, looks like we have some freezing going on. Oh, we can't have that. Well, we could, I guess, but we don't want that. Alright, hopefully we're back in action. Looks like we're back in action. Alright, we're gonna do one thing else, I think, and we're gonna do it just from a reference. But we're gonna be closing in here in like 10 minutes, so we're gonna wrap up at that time, but we're not there just yet. We're not there just yet, so Your forehead might be a little bit too big. Anyways, let's try to mirror this. Okay. I was looking for some reference for some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But now that I'm thinking about it a little bit, there is this artist that I'm enjoying their artwork. I'll try to plug them here in a second if I can find them. Let's see. So their name is Von Goli. And they do a lot of One Piece fan art and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure fan art, and I like their stuff. So I think since I'm kind of, fanning over their work, I might as well try to learn from them. So what I'm going to do is I am going to find a piece that I like, and we are going to try to create it, recreate it, or redraw it. They have some pretty cool artwork for the steel ball. I think it's called the steel ball run, that I might try to do some imitation of. Let's see here. Yeah, sure, let's do it. And we're gonna finish out with this. All right. I like how the characters in JoJo's kind of just get more and more androgynous, if that's the correct word to use still. Sorry if that's not the correct way to say it. As the series kept on going on. But what I really like about the series, at least from the fashion and art sense, is that it really breaks free from a lot of like norms, and like, I mean, specifically for the guys, we typically do not get to see a whole lot of variation when it comes to clothing and presentation, and if there is, it always seems to be in juxtaposition with this kind of idea of like, masculinity, which is kind of just like made up. So anyways, I like how they play with um, play with designs in this series and takes things where most series don't. So it's kind of like a nice little gesture reprieve from what we typically normally see. And also, they're just like designs and stuff that like you would remember. Very memorable designs, and although the writing is not perfect, what I do enjoy about JoJo's is the kind of like scene by scene suspense, where sometimes it's kind of like annoying how overly dramatic it is. It does always have a sense of something may happen or is about to happen. Kind of like this feeling like you're on the edge of your seat. And I think for me personally, it does do like engaging scenes. And as someone that's like learning to write like individual scene stuff, I'm trying to take and keep that in mind, about how to create just like suspense and anticipation. I feel like that's probably one of the stronger suits, is like the sense of anticipation that you get from the series. Alright, so we're coming up on 10 o'clock. We're just going to add in a little bit more here. Let me see if this song is any different. Oh, that's just the sound of rain. I was using rain recording for for some of my lo-fi tracks that I was creating. Alright, so I'm just paying attention how they do like different details. Alrighty, it is 10:05, and I think we're gonna go ahead and start closing down here. So let me go ahead and lay down the pencil. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and hanging out with me tonight as we just draw, doodle, and have some fun. Hopefully you got a little something out of it. I will what do I got in store for you guys? Well, let me just talk about a little bit what's coming up. So I'm still working through some personal project stuff, of course, but be on the lookout for another drawing stream where we just draw along and we get some work done. Be on the lookout for some new music releasing and an art digital sketchbook, which should be pretty cool. And I will be uploading a new anatomy video at some point in time. But again, I want to thank every one of you guys for coming out, and hopefully I will see you next week to continue on and keep drawing and to keep getting some stuff done. So with that being said, hope you guys have a absolutely fantastic night, and until next time, this has been real fun. So peace, love, and deuces.